So, I wrote a newsletter today and I was like typing away and I was like, you know what? This seems like it would really go in one of my new moon reflections. And at the end of kind of formatting all of the stuff into Substack, I was like, oh, it'd be really sweet if I just like pulled an oracle card just for fun. And I think that it might have messed with my intention of when I will be scheduling this post, because the card that I pulled is the blue moon card. So if you're not following, there is a blue moon literally at the end of this month in May. It's a blue moon in Sagittarius. I was talking to one of my classmates the other day, one of my friends, and I was like, yeah, I might do like some type of reading of how we're transitioning from essentially the spring season to summer. And I wanted to do a little bit more reading in Chinese medicine about how the hun, that's the liver spirit that goes with the spring, and the shen, which is the summer season, and the heart, how they interact, because I just wanted to understand more about that dynamic because it came up in context recently when we were seeing patients. So yeah, I haven't had the time or opportunity to go on that little spiral yet. And this is kind of what came through first, what came through maybe instead. So let me just look at my newsletter real quick. So I called it, What Do You Do When You Didn't Inherit Belonging? And why you're not destined to be unrooted forever. And that was supposed to be the theme of the new moon in Gemini. And I'm not going to go through my entire newsletter right here. If you want to read it, you can subscribe. It's just thesoftlifeoracle.substack.com. But I pulled this card, like I said, the blue moon, and I was like, I think it's time that we just explore this particular card together because I'm super duper curious. And so, like, right off the bat, I want to say with the number 9, it's the end of a type of season. So it could be representing, honestly, the end of spring, the beginning of summer. No, it's reminding me of my newsletter again. So right here, you can see she's kind of like scattering something. And one of the like visual metaphors that I used in my newsletter was like, rather than being a person who has planted seeds into soil and who has had the opportunity to watch them grow, I kind of feel like I inherited wind instead of soil, and I've been scattering my seeds into the wind, right? And so I've never had the opportunity to like foster and watch it grow. So essentially, I don't know how people I guess naturally foster, it could be projects or relationships, in a way that is like not based on intensity, but based on kind of like nurturing and time and like watering those seeds and like seeing people through seasons. And I've never really had that experience because of my background, because of my childhood. Just moving around all the time. So it's a very interesting little reflection. But I'm going to go ahead and read the definition of this Blue Moon Oracle card. And this is the Sacred Cycles Oracle by Jill Pyle and M. Dewey. One of my favorite oracle decks. Okay. So it says, there are 2 perspectives on when a full moon is said to be a blue moon. You may choose to define it as the second full moon within an astrological season, or as the second full moon within a calendar month. A blue moon accentuates the energies of a full moon. Blue moons open your eyes and bring into focus new levels of abundance you may have previously overlooked. It is as if your vision has expanded beyond the normal range of what human eyes can perceive. Life becomes a marvel of technicolor brilliance and awareness of energies, experience, and awe. From this place of wonder and insight, you can recognize with a clear head and heart how you not only have all you need, but are also blessed with excess to share. Nature can serve as a great reminder of the endless abundance and encourages your generosity. Look to the green world for guidance wherever resistance arises, and know that your offering will always be returned to you amplified. Journal prompt: where in my life do I have more than I need, and what can I share with others? So, as I was reading this, I had to pause for a little bit just so I could kind of sink into it, because I kind of immediately lost my words like after reading this. And I think part of what happened was, for some reason, this entire thing is just reminding me of a dream that I had last night. And in this dream, the best way I can describe it is almost like it was a restructuring of the subconscious. So I'll have to be a little bit more specific than that. So the dream was specifically about depression. So I've always suffered, I feel like, with depression, probably, I feel like my whole life. So sometimes it's just kind of like this cloud, right? And it's kind of almost like a lens through which you experience life. And obviously I believe in the power of intention. I believe in the power of change. I think I've been trying to, I want to say, like, reverse engineer happiness in a way where it's been very kind of logical and formatted, where I've been like, okay, this is what makes me happy. This is what makes me unhappy. This is how I'm going to restructure my life and like move things to try to create a happier circumstance for myself, by, I guess, learning more about myself and what makes me thrive and like things like that. But there's this other, like, not, I forget what's left and right side, but I think that's left side. There's this other like method that's like not left side, right? That's not structured like that, where it's like, okay, like you can do all these like math equations to try to figure out how you're going to make yourself happier, and it's great and it's worthwhile and it's effective. But what if we thought almost about taking some type of a shortcut? And I'm saying probably both have to exist simultaneously, but it's almost like this kind of effervescent kind of cloud of how do I kind of gravitate and experience like energetically to where I'm experiencing life that is less through this like clouded lens of depression and more like I have kind of tapped into a wave of bliss that I get to ride. And I don't have the answers to that, but I think that sometimes when we are trying to achieve goals, and maybe we're very Virgo brained, maybe you're a Virgo rising too, I don't know. Maybe you're like ambitious and you're like, more effort equals more outcome, right? If I study more, I'll learn more. If I do this, then that'll happen. If I make this plan, then it will manifest because of my actions, right? That I've like willed it into the physical world. But sometimes, what if your intention or your dream isn't one that you're going to be able to occupy through that kind of masculine, yang doing energy? What if your dream is to be received? What if your dream is to be held? And it's like, well, is it really possible for me to accomplish that goal of being received and held if I'm constantly projecting control and like like the masculine energy and like all of that stuff. So my thought was like, there has to be actually another way, right? And it's maybe gently putting yourself out there, like maybe that's what the Gemini new moon vibes. It's gently putting yourself out there, backing away a little bit from like the intensity of like the fire sign, the Sagittarius full moon, and kind of going a little bit with the flow, planting little seeds, stepping back, planting seeds, stepping back, and just kind of participating in this dance without being so, this is my goal, I'm going to make it happen. And that is more easily said than done. I will fully acknowledge that. So I think I'm just going to leave you with that thought. And maybe I want to propose like a question to you, which is, how would you go about achieving those goals? How would you what is something you would do, or what is a way you would shift or reframe your perspective if your goal was to just land in a safe space? What would you do?